Okay, so we've got a rectangle right here, as I mentioned previously, and it's aligned um, to encompass this entire area. This is the whole set for the first set of features, and we're going to use that to do some roughing. So let's go ahead and go right in and do some roughing. So we're going to go to 3-axis. We're going to go to horizontal roughing. Now, first thing we need to do, obviously, is define some tools. We don't have any defined yet, so we're going to go into, pick this button and go into the Create Select Tools dialog. So we're going to need two 3/4 inch diameter end mills. One's going to be a flat end mill, and the other is going to be a corner radius mill. So we're going to go to the flat end mill button here, and our tool is going to be 7.5 diameter. And you'll see that the shank diameter automatically matched the 0.75, and the default tool length of 4 inches and 2.5. That'll be fine for this, and we'll just leave that named. We'll call it 3/4 inch flat mill. And over here, we'll set the material of the tool to carbide, and the tool is going to have 2 flutes. The tool number is the number 1 since it's the first tool that we created. And these other options here we can get into in a later video. So we've got the tool defined. You can assign some feeds and speeds to the tool, and that will be specific to that tool. You can load from the tool whenever you use that tool. Or you can just leave these, and then you can set the feeds and speeds in the actual operation dialog itself. So we're just going to use the default feeds and speeds for now, and we're going to pick Save as New Tool. So you see here that it saved the tool over here in the Tools and Session column. Now I mentioned that we also need a corner radius mill, so we're going to pick this option here. Corner radius mill, sometimes referred to as a bull mill, has a flat on the bottom and a radius around the perimeter. So it's going to be 3/4 inch diameter, the total diameter. It's going to have a corner radius of 1/8 of an inch, okay, and which will leave a 1/4 of an inch flat. I believe that's right, on the bottom of the tool itself. Okay, so 4-inch length, 2.5 inch flute length, that's all fine. Again, we'll just leave the feeds and speeds for now. Set that to a carbide tool. You'll see that it's tool number 2, since we already created one tool. So we're going to pick, let's just change this by 1/8. Okay, we'll save that as a new tool. Okay, so we've got a flat end mill and we have a corner radius mill. So we're going to pick Exit. As I mentioned, we need to have some special care at this bottom edge. So that's gonna cause us to probably leave more stock for this entire operation than you might normally do if it was just a prismatic part. And we're going to leave a little bit more stock so that this flat end mill doesn't get too close to that edge right there. So we got the tool selected. We're going to use the flat end mill. And we're going to go to the cut parameters. Horizontal roughing or any roughing will be a default 10 thousandths in tolerance and out tolerance. The default stock allowance is 1/4 of an inch. So we're going to up this probably to 0.1, at least 1/4. Let's call it 188. And that's only because of this edge right here. So we're just going to use the offset cut pattern. We're going to use a mixed cut direction. We're going to start on the inside and work its way out. And we don't really need a cleanup pass, so we'll leave that for now. So our cut levels, we'll just leave that. Let's set this to say 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Let's go ahead and save this for a moment. I'm going to save that. The reason I saved it is that we really need to do this pocket or this slot running the length of the part first. That will give the tool some relief when it cuts around these edges right here. So let's go up and do a pocketing operation real quick. So we're going to go pocketing. For the curves, we're going to use these two rectangles right here. Okay, and we're going to use our tool. We're going to use our flat end mill, 3/4 inch flat end mill. The cut parameters, we're going to leave that at 0. We're going to cut right up to the side walls. We'll use an offset cut pattern, mixed cut direction, and we'll do a cleanup pass since we're finishing off these side walls. And again, the cut levels, where's the location of the cut geometry? Is at the bottom. And for the depth of cut, let's just measure that. So it's 2 inches. Okay. And so let's set this up to say, we'll just leave it at 2 inches and we'll do a depth per cut of 1/4 inch. Okay. And let's see, we'll do a depth first. In other words, it'll do the entire pocket and then it'll go over and do the other pocket. Pocketing entry and exit, we'll just leave it set to a ramp entry and a linear exit. And we don't really have any arcs that we need to worry about. So let's just generate that. So here's our pocketing for both sides. Let's go ahead and simulate that real quick. Turn the toolpath off. So you see we got 2 slots to go the entire length of the part. Now let's hop back into, okay,